Good morning. I'm Dr. Nikita Deshmukh. I'm an ENT surgeon associated with KIMS Hospital at Kondapur. Today I want to talk to you regarding a very common symptom, that is snoring. We hear a lot of people snoring sometimes when we are traveling in the bus or in the flight. The person next to us is snoring. It gets so annoying. So another very annoying thing is if your spouse is snoring. Apart from this irritation to the spouse, does snoring have any other implications? Yes, we need to understand that. Simple snoring is common, yes, but there is something called as sleep apnea or obstructive sleep apnea, which has to be differentiated from simple snoring. Snoring has a number of reasons. What is snoring? It's basically a noise that is produced by the upper airway because of obstruction. So breath normally goes from the nose into the mouth and then into the lungs. So it's simple to understand. There can be either an obstruction at the level of the nose because of simple problems like a deviated nasal septum, that is when the partition between the two nostrils is bent to one of the sides. So obviously there is less space in the nose, or because of polyps in the nose, which are allergic conditions. These are grape-like structures in the nose. So because of the nasal obstruction, you may have snoring. The second reason for the snoring can be because of obstruction at the level of the mouth. So there could be a large tongue, or there could be a lot of obesity because of which there is a lot of oropharyngeal crowding. There could be huge tonsils. This is another reason. Or lower down in the voice box, there could be some kind of obstruction. So this has to be identified, whether there is any airway obstruction at these three levels. Obesity itself can give rise to snoring because of the excess fat and the BMI, which is high in such people. So when you lie down flat when you are sleeping, what happens is the tongue falls back, because of which the narrowing of the airway happens, and that causes a lot of turbulence, giving rise to snoring. What happens because of snoring? You breathe through the mouth obviously, and as a routine, breath is supposed to go through the nose and it is filtered, so we get rid of all the bacteria and viruses if this happens. But if it doesn't happen, in the whole night if you're snoring, your mouth is open, that will give rise to recurrent sore throats. It also causes dryness of the mouth, a lot of discomfort. Now if the snoring has progressed to sleep apnea, then what happens? See, what happens is in the night you do not have a peaceful sleep, because of which in the morning there will be headaches, morning headaches. There will be daytime somnolence. You feel so sleepy, not so fresh. Like normally after a 6 to 8 hour sleep, you tend to get up very fresh. But those people who have sleep apnea, in spite of sleeping for those number of hours, in the morning they will not have that fresh feeling, because the oxygen supply to the brain has got cut off number of times. That's what you mean by apnea. Now, how do you identify whether you have a sleep apnea problem? So, well, it's pretty simple. You have to, of course, consult your ENT or a pulmonologist for this issue, and after that, there is a gold standard test for identifying obstructive sleep apnea. That's called as sleep study. In this, whole night, there are some monitors which are applied on your body, and the amount of time for which the brain is undergoing hypoxia or does not get oxygen supply, that is calculated as apneas. And according to the index, the hypopnea-apnea index, which is going to be calculated, we decide whether this is a mild snoring, moderate snoring, or severe snoring. So what if you are diagnosed to be having obstructive sleep apnea? If it's mild obstructive sleep apnea, it's not a big deal. You can just do a little weight reduction and that should be fine. But if you have moderate to severe sleep apnea and you are not treated for it, you are at a high risk for a number of conditions, such as cardiac problems, myocardial infarcts, ischemia to the heart in the form of angina. So many things can happen. And what is even more dreadful is transient ischemic attacks to the brain, or mild attacks of paralysis, which is called as stroke. These things can happen. There is high risk of stroke, transient ischemic attacks in patients who snore. Another sequelae of snoring is, what happens is the brain does not get enough oxygen. So obviously the brain reacts. How does it react? It tries and pumps more blood with more force, as a result of which you can develop high blood pressure, secondary hypertension which is called. So snoring and secondary hypertension go hand in hand most of the times. So you have to be careful about this aspect also. So that is the whole bottom line. Like, if there is snoring, you cannot just ignore it. It's better to get yourself evaluated, identify if it's obstructive sleep apnea. If it is obstructive sleep apnea, before complications such as stroke or cardiac events occur, you have to take action. What is the action that can be taken? See, there are two things. If there is a problem that can be surgically tackled and you are not very moderately obese, your BMI, that is the index, is acceptable for giving anesthesia and all that, we can definitely surgically treat it. If there are huge tonsils, they can be removed. There are some corrective surgeries in the oral cavity which can be performed. We can use lasers for doing this. There are so many things that are possible. But if it's a moderate to severe sleep apnea, if it is a central apnea, then what is better is a CPAP machine. CPAP is a gold standard for the treatment. Continuous positive airway pressure that is given in the night, and that is a kind of oxygenation which is improved in an artificial way. So at least best thing is you reduce your weight, but obviously weight reduction will not happen in a month or in 15 days. So till that you have to buy time so that you don't get into complications. For that you can go for a CPAP machine. So this is important. You cannot just ignore snoring. You have to address it. Find out what is the severity of the situation and then act accordingly. I have seen so many patients of snoring not realizing that they have high blood pressure and have landed up with different kind of complications. That is the reason for making this video primarily. You can share this video if you like it with all your friends so that we can together create awareness of this particular condition. Prevention is always better than cure, and I'm sure you agree with this. So if you know someone who snores, at least make them aware of this particular condition, obstructive sleep apnea. And obstructive sleep apnea is not only there in adults, in children also it happens because of huge adenoids, or if the children are obese, it does cause a lot of issues. There can be problems in concentration, there can be growth issues, and so many things. So pediatric sleep apnea also is a known entity which also has to be tackled. So let's keep that in mind and let us make positive efforts to manage snoring, to understand snoring and prevent complications. Thank you.